It's constantly telling me about people who are dead. It popped up a notice that a woman was found dead after not picking her kids up at daycare, and the first thing I started thinking about was Michelle Stewart. And so I checked it. It's not Michelle Stewart, thank goodness. I don't even fucking know Michelle Stewart. I'm not fucking happy with Michelle Stewart. I need a friend or family member to help me turn it in. A friend or family member to help me turn it in. I already know who it needs to be turned into, even. But I need a friend or family member to help me turn it in. Why are we not trying to turn it in? I mean, the instructions do kind of actually say right away. I mean, literally say right away. How many times have I posted that paperwork on my channel? Quite a few. Right away. With Michelle Stewart, yeah, I have to worry for her safety and for her kids' safety. I have to worry for my sister and my niece's safety. I have to worry for Mandy Hughes' safety and her daughter's safety and her grandkids' safety. I got to worry about Alyssa Rainwater's safety and her kids' safety. I even have to worry about predators of mine like Leslie Snell and their children's safety. Now, I've seen enough of my loved ones' names in the news. And then I also got to worry about targets of opportunity. Any jealous ex-boyfriend, any husband who wants a little bit of money and thinks that, who knows? People got all sorts of motivations for killing people. And when they find a target of opportunity, somebody that you wanted to play the victim with, because you was fucking embarrassed, because you couldn't fucking listen because you're a fucking dumbass, had good intentions, just dumb as a fucking stump. You don't like me saying those things, huh? Monkey see, monkey do. Huh. Everybody wanted to make it about the help they wanted to give. Oh, well, I sent you a sandwich. Sean, I sent you $50. Do you really think $50 is going to make up for you never speaking up? When you say you want to be a friend, there's a very specific type of friend I need. A real friend. What would a real friend do if you told them that you were just assaulted? Some of you say that a real friend would grab a shovel and hand you the shotgun, or grab a shotgun and hand you the shovel. Some of you think that a real friend would let you or help you hide the body. Why would you do that first? Oh yes, that's right. The reason that you kill them first, the reason that that's your solution is because if you threaten them first, or you try to take them to court first, then there's a motive there. But you guys don't actually go kill these people, you just talk about it. And I ain't about it. I ain't even close to about it. Michelle Stewart had good intentions, I'm sure, but she didn't keep her word, the most important part. And she wanted to do the same thing everybody else does. Now, thank goodness Michelle Stewart isn't a fucking quack job. She doesn't come across as schizophrenic in the least bit. And she ain't happy, of course. But here's the thing. Why does it take 3 fucking weeks for you to realize that I need somebody to make a fucking phone call with me? Are you gonna fucking make the goddamn phone call with me? You can speak up every day. 5 minutes a day is not that difficult. 3 minutes a day even. I've been harmed by the public a lot. And then I'm shoved on to people who are too lazy to look anything up. But my predators, these fucking internet nut jobs, they fucking eat this shit up. They fucking love it. And this is the only forum that I can go to, the fucking internet. I have to go to the internet because without a friend or family member, I can't go to the fucking cops about shit. What are my friends and family members gonna do? Fucking take advantage of me. Why wouldn't they? So, of course, I get to hear while I'm in prison in Lincoln, Nebraska on crimes I didn't commit, that they had to literally drop the charges on and release me from fucking prison. People say, oh, you need to sue them. You don't get to sue them when they're still victimizing you after you get out. They don't stop. They don't stop. That's the point. They don't stop. They don't stop until you care enough to stop them. Nobody cared enough to stop Waylon Lolatai when he was harming people as an officer in Denver. So he harmed me in Boulder, where he was allowed to go, instead of having charges pressed against him and his ass going to prison for assault. Felony assault against an inmate. That was in Denver. Then he assaulted me. I wasn't even a fucking inmate. He just wanted to fucking hurt somebody. Oh. Then you blame the victim. It's the victim's fault. You tell me it's my fault that Waylon Lolatai assaulted me. You weren't there. You didn't see it. You haven't bothered to find out the things that he did to a lot of other people, too. My Aunt Mary probably saw Waylon Lolatai on the news. She probably got to watch on Denver 7 News that entire Denver 7 News special on Waylon Lolatai. She probably watched the thing on Clearview, too. What are the chances that it registered to her that I tried to turn both Waylon Lolatai and Clearview in before there were any bodies? What did I try to turn Clearview in for? For keeping me longer than they were supposed to take advantage of my money from Medicaid and Medicare. And of course, for initiating harmful contact, including physically assaulting me, injecting me with drugs, destroying evidence, and of course, making fun of me. Making fun of me while they did it, laughing about it. And you can see those people in that camera. Of course, the file is corrupted, right? It didn't used to be. Nope, it wasn't until cops got a hold of it. So I got to re-requisition that, huh? The fucked up part is I can watch it if I can find it in the email. It'll just tell me the file is corrupted when I try to transfer it over so I can put it on Facebook or YouTube. So I should theoretically be able to hold my phone to it and show the situation. One of the ladies in one of Tony Kovaleski's, I want to say 5 or 6 different specials on Denver 7, specifically about Clearview. Plus, there's been, 2 or 3 specials on Waylon Lolatai because of how violent he is. Because he pulled out a shotgun on Zayd Atkinson. Because he assaulted Sammy Leon Lawrence IV for having a walking stick and for taking pictures of crimes being committed against the homeless. In every single one of those situations, Waylon Lolatai specifically was harming people that either were or he assumed to be homeless. He knew that nobody would care. When he assaulted me, people applauded him as if he were some sort of a hero for abusing a disabled adult who is trying to turn in evidence of abuse. He just thought, oh, well, we can frame this retard for fucking murder. We can paint him out to be an evil person who tries to assault cops for no reason. Oh, we were just trying to help him. We were trying to save his life from himself. No, you weren't. You were conspiring and working together with other law enforcement agencies to physically fucking torture me, to deny me my rights to speak up or to show evidence, so that you could slander my name while I was prevented from showing evidence. You fucking put that shit on my phone that Kayla Trujillo wasn't able to remove until 3, 4, 5 months later? That screen overlay? When did that happen? That happened when I was assaulted by Waylon Lolatai in 2018. And then I was charged with assault against a police officer. And they didn't drop the charges on that until they knew that they were literally going to have to give up the body camera evidence and that they were going to prison if that happened. The body cameras on those officers, those Boulder police officers, between when they first showed up for that interaction, plus the 911 call or whatever call that it was made to them, which should have been recorded. All of those things should have been requisitioned. The reality of the situation is that the Bollingers and their fucking cronies were in contact with me through that whole time period. And it all should have been supervised. It all should have been monitored. But nobody fucking cared. They were too busy victimizing me because I wasn't doing what they wanted right when they wanted it because I didn't have the fucking ability. God bless America. A lot of people had good ideas, and I am thankful for their good ideas. Many of their ideas would have actually worked in other situations, would have actually worked for other people. But my situation wasn't that cush. How is it that every single one of these people who wanted to help me couldn't understand the most simple concept? I need a friend or a family member to help me turn it in with me. With me. Instead of just saying that you can't and assuming that you can't or making excuses why you can't, keep in mind that if you can tell me for 3 fucking hours excuses why you can't, in that 3 fucking hours we could have turned it in already, you dumb cunt. People are fucking dead because you're all fucking stupid cunts. I say stupid for a reason. Not ignorant, stupid. You're choosing to remain ignorant. That's your choice. You are choosing another. How many people have you chosen to end up dead, because between telling the truth, that I did in fact go to you for help, and that you were a fucking stupid shit, a presumptive and assumptive fucking asshole who never bothered to look at fucking evidence and just wanted to fucking argue, you're a piece of shit straight up. That helps no one. That is as simple as it is. Now, when you do finally get the point and speak up, the problem is that I've already asked for you to go away. Candace Edwards, she looks just like another woman who had a similar situation to Candace Edwards. I don't remember what her name was. It might have been Candace Edwards. And Candace Edwards was saying to me that she had another account and that predators come on and destroyed her account. And that this is a different one. So it might be the same lady. I don't know. She says she don't know nothing, and I'm going to believe her, because there's a lot of people that I've dealt with, and there are many of them who have stolen other people's fucking pictures and pretended to be them, like Layla Johnson, for example. And Dan Faber admits to that, and admits to knowing that. And the same thing with Aaron Cockerham. They're both recorded on my channel, admitting to that stuff. They also tried to have that evidence removed. Why is it that everybody tries to have their conversations removed? Those conversations show that what the cops said and what you said were not the same. Who was lying, you or them? Were you taking advantage of me or the police? In a lot of those situations, well, I have the evidence of which one was lying as well, which is why it's to people's benefit to come forward and tell the truth about that. If you can't come forward about the fact that I told the truth, that the cops lied about you and about me, if you can't come forward about that, and I have to come forward about it, you want to play fucking victim after that. It sucks that you want to pretend that I'm a horrible person for telling the truth, or try pulling the whole snitches get stitches, or what's the other one? You're a rat. Oh, yes. Sure, for certainly. At least I'm not a rat like you. You're the kind of rat that would eat its own young. Christopher Tapp calling me a rat. When's the last time he even pretended that his biological son, when is the last time that he ever did that? When? He refuses to take a paternity test. Outright refuses. That's because he hates Tammy, because he went to prison for beating the fuck out of her. Now, Tammy told me a different story. And of course, that was one of those things where, like with Miss Jerry, did Ron Reeder really throw that thing right next to your head? Was he really trying to hit you in the head with that Coke bottle that he threw at you? Or is it the story that you told later on when you went back to Ron, when you said you smacked, that he was just talking with his hands as he usually does, and he accidentally hit it and knocked it off onto the floor, or some crap like that? Well, Tammy, she was trying to get Chris to actually be a father, to actually be a part of his son's life. And so, yeah, she took credit. She took the blame. She figured she'd go along with Chris's story and say that the cops threatened her and the cops harassed her and that she had never hit him and that he had never hit her, and she just kept on hitting him over and over. And, you know, that's a story that Matt had told me too. That's why I believed it. That's why I believed it when Chris told me as well. But she said later on, she's like, he fucking hit me. Yeah, of course he fucking hit me. And yeah, I remember what I had said. And she did. And that's one of the things about Christopher Tapp, is that, you know, when I heard that he had beaten up Tammy, I didn't hear that he beat up Tammy. What I heard is that she beat him up. Then, much later, I heard that he had beaten her up. And then much later after that, I heard from Tammy that he had not beaten her up, that the cops had coaxed her into saying those things, and that they had scared her and intimidated her into not going to court and a bunch of other stuff. And apparently she did all of that because she was hoping if she gave Christopher Tapp, a.k.a. Fuzzy Bear, everything that he wanted, if she took the blame for everything, like I did with Natalie at the very beginning. At the very beginning, I took the blame for everything with Natalie, even though it wasn't my fucking fault. Even though I didn't choose it. Even though circumstances were what they were. Even though I did go through the right course of action. I did talk to the right people. I did explain to that cop what was going on the ride to the hospital. I did explain to the hospital people and to that therapist that they had to speak with me at the hospital. I did explain to them what was going on. I explained to them about Natalie pressuring me to go out there because she was going to fucking kill herself if I didn't. About how we had already planned the trip way before that, but I hadn't shown up because I didn't have the fucking money. Maddie Bowe was going to go with me, but she got fucking busted selling methamphetamine, so she was on probation and couldn't leave the state. That wasn't my fault. I explained how I had gone to all the places that Natalie wanted me to go, and that the fucking phone that they gave me was all fucking busted to shit. And they had my phone at the hospital. It was in a fucking plastic bag. They could see plainly that it was fucking busted to all hell. No, that thing's not gonna fucking work for shit. It's fucking busted. But you guys didn't want to hear that. What you guys wanted was blood. You wanted it to be the Roman Colosseum. You wanted to see a Rodney King style beatdown on a white guy. Oh, they beat me for sure, but they weren't going to allow any pictures to be taken on that. When they literally tore my clothes off and used my genitalia as a leverage point to do so, do you really think that they're going to take pictures of my crotch? Or are they going to walk by my cell every day and make jokes about it? Let me show you something. You see this ring right here? Let me tell you what that signifies. That signifies victory in the prison. That right there signifies victory to me. Scott DaCosta told all those people, Sheriff Scott DaCosta, who I was trying to turn in, had me arrested on false charges along with 4 other people I was trying to turn in. I needed a friend or family member to help me turn it in right away, but for years nobody cared. These predators got to continue to do the same thing over and over and over again because no one cared. Repeatedly, because nobody cared. Nobody even cared to fucking look. They wanted to tell me how sorry they were. Goddamn, them sweethearts are good. But no teeth. They take forever to suck to death. With a lot of these people, I think they had their heart in the right place. It was in their chest. Their heads just weren't functioning. Is there a drug that you guys are putting in the water? Right? Isn't that one of the common theories? They're putting shit in the water that's making you retarded. Well, you pretend anybody who's different from you is retarded. Anybody who's not good looking enough to breed with must be a liar. Right? Anybody who is good looking enough to breed with, who cares if they're lying? They're good looking. You'll have good looking babies. increases their chances of getting to have offspring, don't it? Do I think people will hurt Michelle Stewart? No, not likely. But it's a possibility. Rebecca Gross Nickel Foley's predators. She primarily had to deal with on the Hawaiian Island and in Washington State. Michelle Yoko Stewart lives in Washington State. But it's not likely that... It's not likely that her predators give a shit enough about me to go after Michelle Yoko Stewart just because she's in the same state. The most recent abuse that I was aware of against Rebecca Gross Nickel Foley was human trafficking here. Not here in Tillamook, just north of here in Portland. I'm still friends with 2 of her accounts that she's locked out of. There's a few people that were missing that came across my channel. One of them was Emily Hahn in the Dalles. She had been staying over, I'm pretty sure it was the same lady in the blue Ford Focus. She had been staying in a car next to mine for a while in the same parking lot in Hood River. She'd been missing for 22 days by the time they finally did find her, but she'd been staying in that parking lot longer than 22 days before she left. Now, here's the issue. She did later on tell me thank you for speaking up and trying to help find her. I got the notification that she was missing, and I started speaking out that day. Turns out that was the day she was found. I don't know if she was found before or after I started speaking up, but I know she did say thank you. It's on my channel. There's a few people that I've helped to find, and there's a few of them who have said thank you, and there's also a few of them that are dead. Thank goodness, Casey Beardsley, aka Casey Kirwan, thank goodness she was found alive. I know her in person. It is sad that Selena Not Afraid was found dead. I did not know her in person. It is sad that Natalie Marie Bollinger was found dead. I did know her in person. It is sad that Nathan was found dead in Wyoming after being killed by 2 homeless men from Colorado, Boulder, Colorado. I did not know him, but Laura Nelson did, and I know her. Anna Pendergrast, I knew of her before she disappeared, only by face. When she was on a missing persons poster, of course I helped to find her. And she was found alive. My little sister went missing in 2012. Of course I went to help find her. And she was found alive. Alicia Bollinger has gone missing not once, not twice, but 3 separate occasions since Natalie was killed. All 3 times I tried to help find Miss Alicia Bollinger, and all 3 times she was found alive. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I take human trafficking very seriously. I take missing persons very seriously. When Sarah Rubiolo disappeared, I didn't even know her name. What I knew is that I had interacted with her on maybe 2 occasions. And then I saw her on a missing persons poster. Now, how had I interacted with her on previous occasions? Well, one of those times, she was under the Pigeon Ship Bridge. She was decidedly underage. She was in her panties and a bra. And she was down there with another girl and 2 boys, drunk off her ass. I went to go get some homeless people to help take care of the situation. Bug Out went and took care of the situation. He's pretty well known. He's damn near legendary at this point for the number of people that he's stabbed in Boulder and been released again. Well, he went and took care of those 2 young men, and by the time anyone else was convinced to go that direction and try to help this young lady out of something that she should not have been doing, well, Bug Out had already taken care of it, and she was already clothed and leaving. And not with them 2 fellers that were there, obviously. That shit is not okay. And Bug Out is even smaller than me. But he's very, very mean. He grew up in the same system I did, and he knew he had to be mean. Not all of my heroes are perfect. Matter of fact, not a single one of them is. Every one of them is fucked up at some point in their goddamn life, and that is the point. You're allowed to fuck up. Just admit it. Just admit that you made a fucking mistake. Is that fucking difficult? How many people are you going to let fucking die because you don't want to admit that you made a mistake? You made a bad assumption. You made a bad assumption and it got a lot of people killed. You made the assumption that coming forward would never do any good. Of course it doesn't do any good if you never fucking try. But when I got something that comes across my news feed that somebody that I had had an argument with might be dead, I'm going to pay very close attention to that. Also, I'm going to be fucking paranoid because of the number of people like Polly Olson. I told on her and then she was on the fucking news. I told on Natalie and then she was on the fucking news. Told on the situation at Sally Treon's and fucking Janine Gatlin. Janine Gatlin's fucking up on the news. Sorry, Jeannie Gatlin. Up on the news. I get abused as fuck in Boulder County Jail, and Boulder County Jail is all over the fucking news. I get assaulted by Waylon Lolatai, and he's all over the fucking news. I get abused as fuck for trying to tell on him, and I get sent to Clearview. And then Clearview ends up all over the news. I tell on Polly Olson, and she ends up in the news. I tell on Sarah Nelson. She ends up in the news. Michelle DeCini, I tell on her, and she ends up in the news. I tell on the Garden County Sheriff's Department, and then their sheriff, Michelle Quinn, ends up on the news. Holy shit. Ventus Kosai And Joshua Hughes can verify that, well, that Walmart, or sorry, that King Soopers that got all shot up in Boulder, we all used to go over there every day almost. Get our damn groceries, get something to eat. That place got shot up while I was in prison. And one of the guards, he wanted to pretend like he was drawing a bead on me. And pretended to hold a gun and pointed at me like, yeah, you're a fucking swell feller, you fucking cowardly old man. Other side of that fucking cage. Man, I gotta tell you, them guards is some uppity sons of bitches. They assume that you belong there, that it's okay. This is the mental health ward they sent me to begin with, because Scott DeCosta told them I was schizophrenic. And holy shit, man, they just spend their entire fucking day antagonizing and making fun of the retards. You like that? Are those people all retards? No, they're not. They're human beings who are fucking harassed and fucking bullied and picked on by supposedly professional mental health staff. But these are not professional mental health staff. These are corrections workers. That is what they are. They don't care about your rights as a human being. Their duty is to the facility and to the people who orchestrate the facility. The fact that I had to try going to Sarah Nelson about a sexual assault and multiple physical assaults there. And of course, what did my predators do? They also went to Sarah Nelson. She was the assistant warden. It's automatically their word versus mine. So she helped them get away with a sexual assault and multiple physical assaults. And then what did she end up getting arrested for? Sexual assault against an inmate. Huh. Male-only prison, by the way. Sarah Nelson, I saw her literally a day before that I was transferred out of the prison. That was the first time I ever saw her. Meanwhile, the people from her office that were supposed to be, what do they call them? Inmate peer support. They were coming back to me and claiming that Sarah Nelson was going to come see me. And she never did. And then they'd come back and they'd fucking treat me like shit because I didn't follow Sarah Nelson's instructions. I'm like, what are you talking about? Sarah Nelson came and saw me? When was this? Oh, you mean she didn't come to see you? No, she didn't. I didn't get to meet her until the day before I left the prison. Why was I in prison? Because I tried to turn in registered sex offender Robert Franklin Warnick. I tried to turn in former Denver deputy William Barr. Because I tried to turn in Dual County Sheriff Scott DeCosta and his receptionist Leslie Snell. So, 2 bad cops, a child molester, and a receptionist all played victim. Since that receptionist works with the courts, works with the police, it was assumed that I'm the bad guy. She automatically wins. Plus, she's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl. I gotta leave this parking lot here shortly because it's only 6:30. And I probably could have gone into the McDonald's and gotten a little bit done today. But I don't know if I have enough money in all of my car to be able to go both today and tomorrow. And it will take a full day to download some of that stuff. I might be able to play one recording while I'm trying to download the other one onto the internet. Now, one of the things is people said nice things. It's not a matter of saying nice things. You can say the nicest things in the world. When an at-risk adult is being abused, they need someone to help them turn it in. Not to tell them how to turn it in, not to talk over them, not to tell them 10,000 other things other than turning it in, or telling them to turn it into the wrong people, but turning it in with them. What are all these women, what are they trained to do when they don't get what they want? The same thing that children and at-risk adults and the elderly are taught that they're supposed to do. Go to your friends and family for help. When you're a man, you're not allowed to do it. It's not manly. You just need to man up. You need to listen to the woman tell you what a retard that you're being. Because she doesn't understand what you mean by turn it in. Are you sure? If I try to explain to you how shitty the way that you're treating me feels, you will talk down to me like I'm retarded. If I treat you the way that you treat me, you flip your goddamn wigs, don't you? So between trying to educate somebody by telling them, where they may pretend to listen, but it goes in one ear and out the other, or you can show them evidence where they'll maybe pretend they watched it, but probably not. Or you give them a real life fucking example. You really sure that I should just let it float off and slide off my back? How do you feel about it now that you're on the internet, motherfucker? The difference is you're on the internet for shit you did. Like being an asshole. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what gender you are. No victim left behind means no victim left behind. What are you supposed to do when one of your friends comes to you and tells you that they're being abused? You are supposed to listen and believe. They know what happened better than you do, so don't try to argue with them. Don't try to break it down for them. Don't try to diminish what they're saying. Don't try to talk over them and about your personal experiences. Listen to them and what they want to tell you. Don't pressure them to tell you a bunch of stuff. Don't pressure them. Let them say what they want to tell you. Let them do so and remain calm. Don't snap at them or they will snap back at you. When somebody has just been abused in a heinous way, I know that if I don't literally say rape and pretend that all heinous crimes are rape, you're not going to get the point of how horrible it is. But you can ask some of these victims of rape from Boulder County, Colorado. How were they treated when they went into the cops? What did Teresa Massilia have to say about the police in Boulder, Colorado when she tried to turn in the rape against her? She said it was worse than the rape. The way those police treated her was worse than the rape. One of the officers that she specifically spoke up about by name One of my witnesses, George Helmstetter, spoke up about that officer in specific assaulting me in the Boulder County Jail in the hole. The hole is where they send you when you tell on them. And they put you in that Bam Bam suit and pretend like you're trying to kill yourself. And when they do that, that's when you start looking for a way. They make this special suit that they pretend you can't get out of. You can't tear it up. You can't rip it up. They put so many people in a Bam Bam suit while I was locked up. They also call it a turtle suit. That's that green thing in the picture of the Idaho killer feller. That green thing is the suicide smock. And the jails and the prisons, they're expensive. When they want to punish you for speaking out and deny you access to the materials to turn them in, such as the writing materials and the legal materials, they put you on suicide watch and pretend like you're suicidal, and then they victimize the fuck out of you for days. It's horrible, and if you speak up, it's just assumed that you're crazy and you deserve it, and you're in prison because you're guilty. Not in Nebraska. Don't work that way there. You don't even have to be charged with a felony to go to prison in Nebraska. It's not a joke. They can charge you with misdemeanors that they have zero evidence of, hold you for 7 months, and then drop the charges. They can use those false charges to steal evidence from you that is evidence against them. Did Scott DaCosta and his officers destroy evidence of Meg Messigatis' stupidity? No. Did they destroy the evidence of Tara Smith's stupidity? No. Matter of fact, I posted that up. That happened before I went to prison. And I posted that up after I got out of prison. Mandy Singer can verify that the Walmart parking lot that I stayed in, there in McCook, Nebraska, Mandy Singer can verify that the police did in fact kill a man there. Her daughter worked there. And that is while I was there. And I had to try to go to McCook cops to try to get something done. And I had to go in alone. How about when I was in Chesapeake, Virginia? I stayed at 2 different Walmarts. And a Sam's Club, by the way. So, what are the chances that that shooting at that goddamn Walmart there was at the Walmart that I stayed at? Well, since I stayed at 2 different ones and a Sam's Club parking lot, there's actually a pretty good fucking chance of it. And I'm pretty sure the news article said it was a Walmart, so it wouldn't have been the Sam's Club. Turning this shit in is pretty simple. You listen to the victim without grilling them. You find out what happened, and then you help them to turn it into the cops. They will be fucking scared shitless to do this. You need to listen to understand and help them out right away. When you're going to fucking web sleuth groups and fucking arguing with a bunch of fucking nut jobs that think that they were consummated by the Lord. Oh yeah, and the Illuminati, apparently, in the case of Candace Edwards. And there's her friend GJ, who, according to the Bible, This is not what's in the Bible. The Bible does not say that 144,000 autistic people are all going to heaven. You're repeating that 100 fucking times is never going to make it fucking true. Now, who was it that repeated it 100 fucking times? Candace Edwards. Was it literally 100 times? It might have been, actually. It was a long conversation, and she said it a lot. I'd guess that she said it maybe a dozen times. I can be super ultra conservative and pretend it was only half a dozen times. I'm scared of the situation I'm in. I'm scared for my loved ones. But I'm not going to pretend like I'm a fucking bad person for standing up for myself or for asking people to go away. Candace Edwards never should have had to deal with the situation, but she obviously doesn't know what the fuck is going on or how to deal with the situation, which is not my fault. I don't understand how none of these other victims understand the protocols. How is it that in 6, 7 years of Candace claiming to go through her own shit for this entire time, how is it in this entire time she has not gone through the protocols? She has not bothered to find out what these people are supposed to be trained to do. What is it that they're using under color of law to victimize the shit out of you? Why is it that with a lot of this stuff, well, here's the thing with a lot of the evidence that I got to show you. It's not just evidence of what happened to me. It's also evidence of the protocol that was ignored to allow those things to happen. In a lot of other people's case, the situation was very similar to mine, but they didn't approach it from that angle. They wanted to believe they're public pretender, and they only had a public pretender because they're broke. And because they're broke, they couldn't afford a real lawyer, so they didn't have a real lawyer. Don't pretend for one moment that a public pretender is the same thing as a real lawyer. Whether or not you were convicted when you're a homeless person with a public pretender is dependent on how much room's in the jail. And, of course, whether or not Creek Fest is coming up. Or the mall crawl. Because those could result in 2 to 3 dozen college kids getting arrested for stupidity easily. Or, of course, if there's avalanche. I don't mean an avalanche from the mountains. I mean if the hockey team wins a fucking football game or some bullshit. Whatever. Yeah, that's what kids in Boulder riot about. So if there's an important sporting event in Colorado, it is probably a good idea to not arrest homeless people for a week or two before the event itself, because they might riot if there's a win, but they also might riot if there's a loss. Better be safe than sorry. Chance favors the prepared mind and all of that. Alright, I'm gonna end this video because I gotta pee. And then I'm gonna see what time it is. I don't think the McDonald's is closed yet. And it is painfully obvious that I am never going to see my rolling papers again. I gotta stop fucking digging for them. Oh my god, my fucking back is killing me, you son of a bitches. Good to be ready. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.